Welcome back to the channel. You hear a lot of talk these days about country of origin for guitars. The day that I am filming this is the day that PRS just announced an SE model made in Indonesia that is 1999. So the question is, does it really matter where the guitar is made? Phil McKnight has said, and I think there's a lot of truth to this, it is more how much time is put into the guitar than where it is made. For example, in the Fender factory in Mexico, they have been making guitars for decades. It's silly to think that the people who are working there in Mexico are any less skilled than the people working just a few hundred miles away in their American factory. However, the guitars are made for a price point, and a little more time and attention probably goes into the American models. So I wanted to take a look in a series of videos, which will come out as I have the budget to do it, about guitars from different parts of the world. And this is one I've been wanting to do for months. This is my very first Godin, as I understand it's supposed to be pronounced. It says right here on the headstock. And it is assembled in the USA from parts that were handcrafted in Canada. So this is not a current model. This is a Godin Freeway Classic. I got it at an extremely low price. In fact, I've been wanting to get a Godin for a while to do this very video, but I've just not quite had it in my budget with the other things I've had going on this year. But I saw this at Folklore Music Exchange in Charleston, West Virginia for such a low price. I asked Justin, who runs the shop, if the price was correct on it, and he said it was, and I bought it instantly. Because for my purposes, it doesn't need to be new. This is fully stock, and I just want to show you what kind of quality you get here. And we're going to take a closer look, and I'm going to get you some sound samples as well. And again, keep in mind, this is a used guitar, but we have the proprietary 2 humbuckers, 1 single coil design. You can tell these are actual Godin humbuckers in a single coil. They are not Seymour Duncans or anything, so we can see what they can do. I can say, you can probably see on here how beautiful this rosewood fretboard is. Have the sort of a somewhat unique inlay design. This is a classic Strat, you probably say super Strat proportions, 25.5-inch scale, 12-inch radius. The frets feel fantastic. And again, this has been played a good bit, but no indication, from what I can tell, that anything's ever been done to them. Have a 5-way switch. The trim system feels great on this, I have to say. It's probably not in tune, but because I just changed the strings. But just really nice. That's one of the things that really sold me on it. Then take a look at these machine heads. They're sort of brushed metal, very nice touch. Have a nice sort of sculpted heel. I'll take a look in this cavity a bit. Now I'm going to give you a look back here, but just basically a 6-screw trim / vibrato system. And the nut, it's hard to tell if that's ever been touched, but looks very good. But again, this guitar is fully stock, and I was really impressed by it. The humbuckers, I'm thinking, I looked this up, I think 14.5K, 5.5, and 8.5. So you have something pretty hot, a little hotter than vintage, and very vintage. And it just sounds great. I'll give you some sound samples. So let's take a closer look at this great Godin guitar and see how it stacks up to some other guitars from all over the world. Okay, taking a look inside the cavity, and I am overall really impressed. It does look like everything here is original. The wires are bound up nicely. I doubt anyone would have gone to the trouble to do that. He has the large pots, and it is one of the cheaper switches, but look how nice this is. This is, I mean, I've had Gibsons where the cavity's not been routed this nicely, and it feels like that's some type of shielding paint, but then you don't have the full effect there, but that's very nicely done. So that does look like a quality instrument, and you can tell, I believe, they make a more expensive version of this guitar that had a maple top on it, and that says the specs say that has it's maple with poplar wings. I feel like this is all poplar because where it's just painted this very 80s, which I love, black color, very thick, that I feel like that is probably all poplar, but nothing wrong with that. So very impressed with the control cavity here. A couple other details I wanted to show. Again, look at those brushed metal tuning machines. I love those. And look at the grain on that rosewood fretboard. That is beautiful. Again, overall, some really nice hardware on this and a great overall presentation. Going through a Fender bass breaker, 007 head, and the matching 12-inch cab. Volume on about 3, gain on about 3, bass on 4, mids 5, treble 6. Bridge pickup. Position 2, these two pickups together. Middle position, turn the gain down just a little bit. This is a pretty gainy amp. The volume up a little, get a little more funky here. Okay, the fourth position now. Very nice. And the neck humbucker. Sounds nice. Okay, now let's check out the knobs. doing the tone. 10, about 8, about 5, about 3, off. So it's very subtle. Now the volume. 10, about 8, about 5, about 3, none. Do a swell. Not bad. Okay, now I've turned the gain on the bass breaker up to about 7, so bridge pickup. Turn the volume up a little bit here. Okay, second position. Middle position. Still feels comfortable up here. Better access than a Strat. Fourth position. And the neck humbucker. Very heavy sound. Back to the bridge real quick. Okay, let's check out the whammy bar some. So this one's deck, so we'll only go down in pitch. Has a good feel though. So it's 6 screw, pretty traditional there. So you're not going to be doing dive bombs or anything, but it gets the job done well. So final thoughts, both on this guitar in particular and Godin in general. I was really impressed. If you can find one of these on the secondary market, they are a steal. If you're looking for this kind of guitar, I highly recommend it. It is a good combination of some more vintage features like the trim system, and some more modern features like the HSH design. Really like that neck humbucker sound, really nice and heavy. But it has a 12-inch radius, so it's a little more modern. It's a super strap, but not like a gem or something like that. So if you can find one of these on a Reverb, you're getting a steal. Trust me. Because let me say too that the Godin quality really impressed me. This is a used guitar. Everything, it's definitely been played. There's some dings on it, some scratches. Everything works great. It plays great. Look at the grain on that maple neck. That looks like a one-piece maple neck. And I mean, the tuning machines, really impressed by the quality. Even used, you can tell. And this is stock as we went through it in more detail. So, I mean, I'm really impressed. So this particular, I think they're all entirely made in Canada now. The parts were all made in Canada. This was assembled in New Hampshire, so it's kind of an American guitar. So maybe along with some of the Peavies, this might be the cheapest American guitar you can find at the moment. But if you're looking for this type of guitar, I highly recommend it. Every bit the quality of a Mexican Fender. Again, if you want something a little bit different, rather than getting like a Player Series HSH, there is a Player Series one still, isn't there? I know there was. But anyway, this would be a much better deal in my opinion. So as I'm looking at some guitars from around the world, Canada's entry is very strong. So again, great sounds, a nice sort of the intersection of vintage and modern. Highly recommend it. So if you have any questions, please leave them below. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, keep on rocking.